Greetings! Welcome to another exciting episode of Age of Empires Castle Siege Tutorials. I'm Dice Gods, and again I want to continue with demonstrating the Trebuchet. This time it's going to be Age 7, so we're going to move up in age from the previous video. The castles should, by all rights, be a little tougher, so yeah, this will kind of give you a good idea how to kind of like progress, you know, with your attacks as you age up. The army is pretty much the same as I've, always used. The only difference between this and the Age 6 is that I'm adding grenadiers. Grenadiers, in my opinion, are pretty much the best all-around unit in the game. They're reasonably quick. They're very powerful. They can they're a ranged attack to a certain degree, and they can take out wall units, which is nice, and they're excellent at taking down walls and towers and troops. Utterly devastating against cavalry. So yeah, just really one of the best all-around units in the game. I like to put grenadiers in my guardhouses too, by the way, as far as like on defense goes. Maybe one guardhouse with Templar Knights and one with grenadiers. The reason for that is that having, say, like cavalry in your guardhouses and having those rush out initially, everybody has spearmen ready to deal with those. Spearmen are devastating against cavalry and Mamluks and raiders. Templar Knights, not really so much, and grenadiers, they just, they do pretty good against spearmen. So that's a good combined arms force to have in your guardhouses, the grenadiers and the Templar Knights. It doesn't hurt though to have grenadiers in both guardhouses. I find I do that quite often because the relief forces that come from the watch signal are pretty much all cavalry usually. So having grenadiers in your guardhouses, they deploy quicker than mounted units, and they're really powerful. So anyway, let's go ahead and get right to it. I can't do that replay. Let's see here. I don't play this account very much, so let's see here. Let's find a good Trebuchet. Here we go. Let's just let's go ahead and do this one here. Yeah, a lot of my replays are grayed out because of upgrades to the game, or updates, I should say. So anyway, as you can see here, we have some nice tower clusters. Nevsky loves those, so the Martel Nevsky combo is particularly potent against a setup such as this. As always, I'm going to use my infantry to try and spring any fire traps. Turned out there wasn't a fire trap there, so these units that are issuing forth from the guardhouse and the patrol points, I'm going to lure them away from the castle out here where I can take care of them, always with infantry and spearmen with Curosophons in support. Grenadiers in support also work really well. One thing to mention here is, again, you have army camps up against the walls. That's a dead giveaway. There's no traps there. That's why I knew that this was the only possibility for a trap. Again, once I deploy my rams. I use them to spring the engineer traps, and I, generally speaking, will have them just kind of float around, just kind of wander back and forth in front of my treb line. I sent that one in. I'm sending this one in at this point, and then I'm sending in Martel. There really isn't much to be gained by delaying deploying Martel. You may as well go ahead and send him in there right away, get his boost going, and allow him to be the meat shield for your treb line. Then go ahead and deploy your infantry and grenadiers, and they'll do a good job of taking down towers, as you can see. So anyway, Nevsky going to work on these clusters. He's just devastating against tower clusters. Almost as good as Winrich in that respect because of his the area effect of his Scorched Earth ability. So yeah, I'm going to send Martel in. He's actually going to start attacking the keep here, it looks like, and then that's going to draw fire from most of these towers here. It looks like that ballista tower is just out of range, but probably not going to matter. Nevsky going to work, and the Trebuchets going to work on towers. Again, you want to make sure that you take care of defenses. Don't worry about looting so much. make sure you try to take care of wall troops as soon as possible. It looks like I delayed here, but that's because these were archers, far less effective wall units than grenadiers. Had that been a grenadier unit, these trebuchets would probably be dead if I hadn't taken care of them. Let's see here. So my army's kind of split up. I got part going this way and part going that way, and in all actuality, Martel isn't being particularly effective, being straight dab in the middle. But okay, yeah, at this point I've pretty much rendered the castle defenseless. All the towers, guardhouses are destroyed. There's no patrol points that have any units left in them. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up. To touch upon the army composition a little bit here, one of the reasons I maintain Mamluks, 2 Mamluks in my army, is that when I reach this point at the end, I use them to just go around, and they're excellent at mopping up. A lot of times you'll find that people will deploy, they'll have buildings, you know, outlying in the corners. That's a common thing. And they're really good at racing around the map and cleaning that stuff up. And at the end of things here, when you know, you just want to, you know, it's entirely possible there may be times when you're running out of time, and so it's good to have these guys. They're really quick, and they can mop up very swiftly once you have the castle. The castle's defenses reduced by your trebuchets, infantry, grenadiers, etc. So, yeah, there you go. That was the Age 7 Martel Nevsky attack. Again, you know, the key thing is try to keep a meat shield out in front of your trebuchets. Trebuchets like to wander off. What they like to do is they want to try and open up the castle walls. They want to open up enclosed areas. You really want to make sure that you keep them targeting towers, and that you always keep some form of meat shield. You know, infantry, Teutonic Knights, Martel, whatever. You know, you don't want your trebuchets drawing fire. So that's really the important thing. And another thing, yeah, that I should probably touch upon, because I don't really talk about this too much, I don't micromanage my infantry and grenadiers nearly as much as the battle progresses. I really concentrate on keeping my trebuchets on target, doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's, you know, it's you can't control your whole army at the same time. You know, there are going to be times where you're going to try and micromanage those guys, but if you have to make a decision between what you're going to micromanage, try to make sure that you micromanage your trebuchets, because they'll wander off, they'll do dumb things, and they won't do what you want them to do. So ladder invaders, no need to micromanage them at all. The archers, I mainly try to use them in the early goings to deal with the engineers that are sprung from the engineer traps by my rams. After that, I don't pay that much attention to them, though I do try to get them, when I think about it, to take care of wall units. A lot of times they'll do that of their own accord, but not always. And it's very important to take care of wall grenadiers, especially because they're just utterly devastating to your trebuchets. Your trebuchets will just wander right up to a section of wall with a grenadier unit on it, and just, you know, they'll take out, you know, trebuchets like to bunch up, man. That's even more of an issue, and they'll just wander right up to a wall, section of wall with a grenadier unit, and that one wall gren will just take out like all your trebuchets if they're bunched up right there. So, all right, maybe we'll do one more here and see, real quick, why not? Let's see. I was actually thinking maybe if I had another hero combo, like Winrich Maslama or something. Yeah, let's do this. Always a good time, Winrich Maslama. Very difficult to get 3 stars, far more so than Martel Nevsky, but good fun. So again, with the infantry, we're going to, you know, basically use them to set off the fire traps. Usually I will run one along the wall this way, one along the wall this way, and try to make sure they don't meet in the middle where the fire trap is. Almost always the fire trap is in front of the gate, so just keep that in mind. Again, the troops that deploy initially from the guardhouses and patrol points can be dealt with by infantry and spearmen with Grens in support and Kirosophan. It's always a key thing. Your rams, when you deploy them, just keep them running back and forth in front of your treb line, and then use archers to take care of the engineers. Then concentrate on keeping your treb line busy, you know, putting some big gaps in the wall. Don't let your troops go rushing in there to die. There's no point in them going in there at this point. I got these infantry in there. It would be better if I had kept them out, but I've been trying to micromanage, as you can see, these guys here, keep them outside of the range of these towers. But anyway, I have now deployed Maslama and Winrich. Yep, he took down that nice little cluster there. Didn't quite get that archer tower there, but the Trebs will do that, or the Grens, whichever it was. As you can see, Trebuchets here, they're bunching up. They love to do that. So, and once they get bunched up, it's hard to separate them. So yeah, at this point, what do I got? Infantry with Grenson support going into that quadrant. Ladder invaders going in to take out emplacements. I'm trying to get my trebuchets to get into the fight here. They're just crawling their way. Unfortunately, it seems most of my army is over here. I didn't have anybody to help protect that trebuchet there. How unfortunate. Looks like I'm going to try and bring these guys back around. Okay, I'm deploying my Mamluks and some archers to try and get out in front of this trebuchet. Don't want to get out too far in front because they'll get laid waste to by this flame tower here. See, I'm going to try and take that out before I allow any troops to get too close to it. Same with that archer tower there. Then I can use whatever units. At this point, it seems like all I have left are the Mamluks and the archers here. They'll make a decent enough meat shield for the trebuchets. That trebuchet, those two trebuchets just walked up. Is this one? Oh no, there were two. Were two. Yeah, they didn't. They went and took out that tower all on their own without any meat shield out in front. In fact, it would appear all of my trebuchets are gone. But they did their job. Yeah, the castle's pretty much defenseless at this point. One last emplacement, some wall units which can either be avoided or taken care of. Mamluks are really good against wall grens, just so you know. As long as they keep their distance, they have range on them, so they can take them out without drawing fire. However, Mamluks are highly susceptible to grenadiers, whether they're wall units or not. So you usually want to keep them away from those. So let's go ahead and there it is. 3 stars. 3 stars with Winrich and Maslama. It's actually not that common even for me. But there you go. A couple of examples of the Treb attack. Again, the key thing is, you know, stay on top of them. Don't let them wander off. Make sure that they are targeting towers and try to keep meat shield out in front of them. That's really the secret to success when it comes to using a trebuchet army. And the army composition itself is, you know, very important. Yeah, interesting. I only had 4 infantry. Normally I have 6 and just the 1 Teutonic Knight. Anyway, there it is. Hope you enjoyed that. And until next time, this is Dice Gods, signing out.